Welcome to She Rises Up podcast with Gemma and Lara. We are multi-award winning international coaches, authors and speakers specialized in women's empowerment and conscious leadership for women. Here we want to empower, uplift and elevate you with conscious conversations aimed to unify femininity, business and consciousness.
Welcome, ladies. Welcome back to another episode of She Who Rises Up. It's episode 14, actually, if I'm not mistaken. Episode 14. My God, this is such an amazing experience altogether. So, welcome, ladies. Welcome. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your support. Thank you for listening, and welcome to all the new listeners to this podcast. And I'm here in London. And I hope that if you're in London, in the UK, you are also enjoying this glorious weather. That I'm becoming very English, because weather. But yes, it's when it's rare to have this beautiful weather, you actually enjoy it. So absolutely. How are you, Gemma? How are you? Where are you in the world right now?
Well, I'm in my house in Cadiz. Just came to record the podcast, and it's funny that you mentioned the weather because I was coming back from where I was staying for the past week, and today the weather was it was cloudy, and I was surrounded by trees where I was, and I was thinking this is like England. I had reminiscent of England today. The fresh air in the morning, the green from the trees, and I thought this is like England. So it was interesting, and you mentioned the weather. I was feeling nostalgic today about the weather there.
Yes, absolutely. So we've just finished recording the podcast in Spanish, and which is episode 3.
Yeah.
You have the choice as well to listen to it in Spanish if that is your wish. And the reason we have these podcasts, just to recap, it's based on all the conversations that Gemma and I have been having for the past few years. Very deep, very healing, very conscious conversations. And we thought, why to keep it hidden? Why to keep it only to us? Well, there's so much goodness that comes from it that could also support other women in their path of growth, evolution, and awakening. And the podcast is split in 2 sections. The first section, we take a few minutes to recap on some of the greatest lessons that we have learned personally over the past 2 weeks between recording the podcast, and then we will dive into the oracle card that we have picked up for you for the next for you to reflect on and for the next couple of weeks. So Gemma, what do you have to say? What has been your biggest learning experience over the past weeks?
Well, like every week, it has been very intense. Maybe less intense than other times, or at least it feels like it. But the experience that I would like to share is about the power of infinite possibilities, of being unbounded to time and space, of infinite possibilities, of having no limits. I was working with my other half in this piece of land that we are restoring right now, and that's where we were this morning, observing the weather, how reminiscent it was of the English weather. And we were doing heavy manual work there in the land. And he says something, I can't remember exactly what he said, but it was like, oh my God, what are we going to do with this? Or where are we going to take all these? And what I said was, we will take it where we want to. We have no limits, something like that. And I didn't think about it. But in the evening, when we were thinking about the day and kind of seeing what we learned today and the things we did, he said, I loved what you said earlier on in the day when you said that we have no limits. And it's true, there are infinite possibilities, and when we are together it's even stronger, and we have no limits. And that's what I would like to share, that the limits that we have or that we impose ourselves are in our minds. The mind is the one that says you can get up to here, this is your limit, this is your boundary. When in reality, we are powerful co-creators with the universe. There are no limits, and we are here to create whatever we want. And to be able to create whatever we want, we have the power of unlimitedness. I don't know if that's a word, but we have the power of unlimited possibilities. And that takes me to the concept of beliefs. And in coaching, we talk about beliefs a lot. And with our clients, we identify, or the clients identify, a belief that limits them. And we coach them to change it to something that, to another belief that is not limit, that's not limit them. But really what it is a better belief. It's still a belief that limits you, because all beliefs will limit you. We were talking, Lara and I, between the Spanish and the English podcast, and that's what we realized, that if you believe you are a good girl, that's what you are. Later on in life, you realize, I'm a queen. That's what you are. But still, the queen has limits. If you believe you are nothing and you are everything, then there are no limits. And that's my experience today, that you can get to whatever you want to when you think there are no limits and that everything is possible.
How beautiful. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. And that was very true, and I resonated so much that even the empowering beliefs are beliefs at the end of the day. Yes, they are better, but it still has its limitations and has its constraints and has still a box, right? That we getting ourselves into. A prettier box, but still a box,
Yeah.
right? I love that so much. Thank you for sharing that.
Thank you for listening.
And my lesson, oh, wow. Okay, talking about the good girl, the good girl theme here, because it showed up for me a few days ago. And I thought that I had worked on the good girl archetype. And actually what I realized is that it's so deep in the collective psyche that I don't know if it was my own trauma still coming up, or my own archetype that I embraced for so many years of my life coming up, or if it's something that I had to experience for the collective. I'm still don't know, and it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter either. And what I realized is that I had an appointment. With that I needed to reschedule, and there was flexibility in rescheduling it, right? So and I needed to do something before actually attending that appointment. And if I didn't do it, there was no reason for the appointment altogether, right? And it took me almost 2 days to reach out to this person to say, please, can we change the appointment to a later date? Can I get some more time to complete whatever I was completing? I needed to complete. It took 2 days to do that. Why? Right? And I was reflecting, why? I mean, it's like I couldn't just write a simple, please, can we reschedule? And I realized that it's precisely the good girl archetype that was showing up. And the good girl archetype is the aspect of ourselves that wants to please, right? That wants to not disappoint, that is submissive, that will she will do as she's told, right? She would not rebel. And I'm like, oh wow, what the fuck is happening here? What is going on here, right? And I was delighted that I was able to witness her, because any step for change, it has to start with awareness. So I was able to be aware of that was coming up. And actually, when I sent that message, finally, I got a very beautiful, very supportive, very kind and compassionate note back from the person. So it had nothing to do with the person. So it was something within me that needed to come up. And what I would like to say, that although talking about conscious and subconscious, and limiting beliefs, what we were talking earlier on, that although we can't consciously access our subconscious mind, which is, the things that we do on autopilot, basically, if we were to pay attention, it leaks all the time. It shows up all the time in the way you speak, in the way you say something or not say something, and do something or not do something. So it shows up constantly. And once you notice that's awareness, right? I'm bringing awareness into the situation. Then of course you have to make a decision whether you want to work on it or not, and that's entirely up to you. But at least you have the awareness of it. So yes, the archetype of the good girl, it's there. I know that's a situation that affects so many women. It's not something just for me, for Lara, but it's something that is really deeply ingrained in the psyche of the collective. So yeah, that was my experience.
How beautiful. Thank you, Lara. And how amazing that once you recognize that the archetype of the good girl is there, and you realize that, oh, wow, it's limiting me. As soon as you bring awareness to it and bring consciousness to it, then it becomes a tool for growth and a tool for transformation. And then there are no limits, because you see where is limiting you, and then you're free to change it or to stay where you are. So you have the freedom.
Absolutely. And now it's time to move on to the second part of our podcast, and that is to talk about the oracle card that we picked for you. And that is the card of karma. Karma. Gemma, every time we pick a card, is like, what? Can we give me an easier one? Why is this? I don't know about this. What am I supposed to know? And the moment that we dive into it, it feels as if we are provided an opportunity to deepen, at least for me, to deepen into another piece of wisdom, to focus entirely our energy into it. And I'm really looking forward to discuss that with you.
Absolutely. And always, I think we mention it in every podcast, but every card that we pick every week is so related to whatever we are experiencing for the 2 weeks in between podcasts. That it's amazing. It's very magical the way it happens.
Absolutely. And so talking about that, shall we dive into it?
Let's do it.
Let's do it. So the first thing I'd like to tell the ladies, what is your assumption about karma? What is your assumption about karma? What do you know about karma? What are those phrases or philosophies that contain the word karma? So many of you may have heard something called karma is a bitch, or what comes around goes around, or what goes around comes around, right? And of course, I realized that this is, talking about limiting beliefs, this is very disempowering, because these kind of philosophies, underground philosophies, all they're doing is suppressing me, controlling me, and it's almost, it feels as if this notion of karma, it's a way to keeping me in check. So it's almost like the good girl must be kept in check. So this is what I realized about karma, and I also thought, all right, can we rewrite karma? And the answer is yes. The answer is yes. And can I transmute the concept of karma to something more empowering, even if this is, again, another limiting beliefs, as we were talking about? The answer is yes. And I thought, what if karma then was an opportunity? What if karma was an opportunity? What if karma is related to a feeling? If I am triggered by something, maybe it's something I need to heal. Maybe it's a karmic relationship, or maybe it's a karmic situation that I need to heal. And so what if then it becomes a tool for evolution, rather than a tool for punishment, or a tool to keep you in check? What do you think?
Love it. I love it. Yeah, talking about limiting beliefs as well earlier, and infinite possibilities. Of course, one of the possibilities is to believe that karma is real, and another possibility is to believe that karma is not real. Which one is the truth? Both and none of them. It depends what you want. So by using karma as a tool for transformation, you use it as you need it. And it really works. Or when we have clients that come to heal, and we find that there are karmic situations, karmic relationships, there are tools that can help them remove beliefs, remove those bounds those limits that they have created themselves in previous lives, or not, or in this lifetime. So indeed, karma is a mental thing, is a mental construct thing, like Lara said, to limit you or to expand. So we can use it as we need it, as we need it. But I think the main thing to realize is that is just a tool for transformation, nothing else, and that it works. It works. It taps into the subconscious of people, and it doesn't really matter whether you believe in it or not. It really works. It really works.
Yeah.
What doesn't work is when we get stuck into it and believe that karma exists as a truth, and then it becomes a dogma. I think you mentioned that earlier. It becomes it becomes your religion. Karma exists. I'm in a karmic relationship. I cannot get out of this. I'm suffering this in this lifetime because something I did in a previous lifetime, and now this is a punishment. Then it's not good for you, because you're stuck into something. You're still into the victimhood mentality. But because we are co-creators with the divine, we can remove karma from one moment to the next. We don't have to attach ourselves to karmic anything. So it can be removed in an instant, because it's a tool. That's it.
I love it. I love it. Absolutely. I mean, and this is interesting, right? Because karma, how do we know that it exists? Is what we were talking earlier on, right? If we choose to believe that, I choose to believe that I have certain karmic relationship that exist in my life. And the way that I approach that is that these are relationships that I need to learn deeper lessons from them. And I have a few in mind right now, especially when it comes to family members, where yes, I mean, it feels that. And but it's coming from an empowering space, so it's an opportunity that in this case these supposedly karmic relationship are giving me to evolve rather than getting stuck. And this is when going back to how am I using this concept of karma, right? And I love what you mentioned, Gemma, there, that how many people are think that karma is something, yeah, because I've done something bad in previous lifetime, so I'm coming, I'm having to pay for it now. And again, these are all, we don't know. If we choose to believe that, then brilliant. I personally do believe in past lives, but again, we don't know if actually past life exists, but I choose to believe that. And we were talking about it earlier on in the Spanish podcast, and it was very interesting, some of the things that you've mentioned there, Gemma, that I don't want to take them as my truth when actually it was you who mentioned it. So I'll pass the mic to you.
I might not remember them, so please mention them if I don't say them. But what's coming to mind is a few years ago I was reading a book from David Icke, and I can't, the exact title of the book I don't know, but it's something like "Everything is a Lie, Only Unconditional Love is Real," something like that. And I was reading the book, and almost kind of through probably three quarters of the book, he was saying that everything is a lie. Absolutely, everything is a lie. That the only thing real is unconditional love. And when you hear that, you probably say, "Oh yeah, okay, everything is a lie." But when you go deep into that everything is a lie, then you realize that everything is a lie. And at the time when I was reading the book, I used to believe very heavily into ascended masters and angels, and I was doing Reiki, I think, at the time. And then to me, that was a huge shock, that I was believing in this level. And if you go up, there's no ascended masters, there's no angels to believe in, there's nothing, just love. And that was a huge moment that I will always remember. And that point where there is nothing else but love is the level of unlimited possibilities. So everything is possible there, and nothing is possible. So it's the dichotomy of God, the dichotomy of the Creator, that everything is possible. There is nothing there, and everything else is just a tool. It's just a tool for transformation, and you can use it for your benefit, or you can use it for to limit yourself even further. So that was a huge moment in my life that I will always remember, because I could feel my mind going, stretching. Oh my God, And it's hard because when you believe in something like angels or ascending masters, I used to love that. Then you realize I've been giving my power away to something. I've been limiting myself to something when really the creator is within me. I don't need anything. I don't need anything else. I have everything I need inside of me. But if I choose to believe or use karma or angels or ascended masters, it's because it's going to help me somehow. It's going to help me as a tool. But really, everything you need is inside of you. There's no need to give your power away to anything. And that's huge because that makes you more free, or at least as free as you can be in this dimension.
Absolutely. I remember when you were sharing that, it did disturb me for some time.
Very disturbing, that's the word.
Disturbing. And I remember then I was watching another lady who shares a lot of stuff online, especially when it comes to extraterrestrials and things like that, that I love watching and learning from her. And I remember that she was saying at one point that if you limit yourself to the existence of extraterrestrials, you're actually limiting yourself. If you are thinking that the Galactic Federation is all that there is, you're actually limiting yourself, right? Because this is so big and so vast. And I remember actually one time when we were on the train here, you were in London back then, we just came from a trip from America, and we were talking about angels, right? And the conversation was around, how do we know that angels exist? Right? I choose to believe in angels, but I believe in angels from the place of detachment. Right? It's not like this is it, I believe, I do believe, and I talk to angels and I do work with angels for sure, knowing that I know nothing. Knowing that I know nothing, no, and that I need to be open also to all possibilities.
Yeah.
And talking about past lives, I think what we talked about in the other podcast is that how do we know, again, that past lives even exist? I choose to believe that they exist. Is a belief system of mine. I could be completely wrong. But again, from a place of detachment, what I have realized, especially when I've done some regressions, is that every time that I did a regression, there was a deeper lesson that served me now. So again, what if those past life regressions, again, they were a tool for evolution? So yeah, that was something, again, very linked to what we're talking about karma and past lives and karmic relationships and everything else, right?
Yeah, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. And yeah, what I would like to point out is that by saying the things we are saying, because I realized that it's very disturbing. That's the exact feeling that I had. It's disturbing, and that's great because then your mind is expanding when you feel disturbed. But we're not saying that angels don't exist or karma don't exist. We're just saying that what if there is something else? What if they didn't exist? They do exist in your mind, obviously. Everything that we think of, that we can imagine, exists the moment you start thinking about it. But it's in your mind. It's a product of your mind. Everything you create in your mind or that you see outside is a creation of your mind. Absolutely everything. And so what if angels is a common belief that has been implanted in everyone's mind, and they exist because everyone believes in them? Then they have their own consciousness.
Do you know, I wonder when the ladies listen to this, what is going to be, they either like, this is it, I'm out.
Oh, no. Oh, I don't believe in angels. Well, I'll turn this off.
So please do reach out and let us know your feedback, if this has served you or not. Ultimately, everything that we're doing, it's to liberate ourselves, right, from all the chains that we have in our minds, in our hearts, that have been keeping us stuck. And so prototypes then, like the good girl
Yeah.
talked earlier on, shows up, that actually doesn't serve anyone. Doesn't serve anyone. Yeah.
And that means absolutely everything, even the belief of something so beautiful as angels. What if they don't exist? What if they're just a product of my mind?
Yeah.
Just consider that. You don't need to stop believing in them. It's a beautiful thing to believe, but is it limiting you? Is it limiting you in every way? Believing that angels exist? I don't know. Just consider.
Absolutely. So shall we start wrapping up?
Do it.
let's start wrapping up. Any last words of wisdom that you would like to share with the ladies?
Well, just to reiterate what we've been talking about, that there are no limits, that the limits we create for ourselves are ours and they are not real. The only real thing is the essence that we are. That's the only real thing. And that's a limitless consciousness. That's exactly what we are. Consciousness embodied in a body. So we are consciousness with a body. And that is unlimited power. We are co-creators with the divine, with love, call it as you like. And to be that co-creator, you have no limits. You have no limits. And that implies being one with the divine, acknowledging that the divine is within you, taking responsibility for everything, because everything that you see and you experience is created by you, absolutely everything. And that makes you free. That makes you free. That belief makes you free, because you
Yeah.
can choose, like we said, to keep this karma or not to believe in karma or not to.
Absolutely. And from my perspective, and very much linked to what you said, Gemma, is that we can 100% rewrite karma. If you choose to believe in karma, we could 100% rewrite it. And if you choose not to rewrite it, then I would say, what is the reason? What is that feeding within you? What is, so check it out and go deeper to see what's really going on there for you. And my last point is that a reminder more than anything that, again, if you choose to believe in karma, or if you want to work with karma, then use it as a tool for evolution, growth, as part of your awakening process, and not as a punishment. Not punishment. So this is it from us today. Thank you so much once again for listening to us, ladies. Please do reach out if you have any feedback, or if you'd like to get in touch, or if you feel that you want to expand yourself and maybe work with us. We would be delighted to support you on your journey. Thank you so much, and we will see you in 2 weeks' time. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
That's all for today, ladies. Thank you so much for joining our conversation, and we truly hope you loved it. If you haven't yet, please do subscribe to our podcast and also share it with other fabulous ladies so they could benefit from it too. If you want to get in touch, you could find us on all major social media platforms. Speak to you very soon.